Today we're actually going to dive a little bit deeper into a heavy topic, and that's why, brace yourself how to be there for your friend when his or her loved one just passed away. I hope you're ready for this. Wear your seatbelt cause we are in for a ride. If you see me smiling, it is just that reaction when you're uncomfortable, so you smile. So just a little backstory. In the past 2 months, the loved ones of two close friends passed away, and as usual, honestly, I'm at a loss. Death for me is honestly a very scary topic, and I don't ever know how to handle it. Or grief is just so hard. Like, how do we be there for our friend, right? Most people in where I live, so we give 白金, which literally translates to white gold, which is a certain amount of money that you give to the family of the person who passed on. You can give any amount you want. So most people, what they do is they will follow the culture and give 白金, and then be there at the funeral for a day. After I went for my friend's loved one's funeral, I really felt very helpless, and I wish there was something I can do more than just going there with my friends and then talking, catching up, and then give the 白金 and we left. I wish there is something more we can do because we are close. It really depends on how close you are to be able to do any of the things that I'm going to suggest. Everything I say can just be taken as suggestions. Okay, they are not like a step-by-step guide, because I'm still learning also. But wait, don't run away. I did actually compile some pretty good stuff. This is not something that just comes naturally to us, My therapist actually told me that death is just something that may be very, very difficult to grasp for some people. So I actually did a little bit of research, and I just pick out those that are more relevant to me and what are within my means. And so these are what I found. Please just take them as suggestions. You can do them, you can don't do them. You don't have to force yourself to do anything that you don't want to. A disclaimer: if you are someone who has just lost your loved one and you are going through a very difficult time, please reach out to someone who can help you, such as a certified counselor. You can contact an international hotline, which I will do my best to find and link it in the description box below. So with that being said, the first tip that I have is to never ever say assuming things, such as they are in a better place now. If you consider how they feel, and if they are very, very close to their loved one, right? To them, at their current state, what they may be thinking is the best place for the person who has passed on is to stay here with us, So I really don't think this is a very appropriate thing to say. I feel it is just so easy to say something just right off the textbook. Logically speaking, the person who has just lost someone, he or she will definitely know that you are comforting them in your own way. But it is a very sensitive period, and you don't actually know how this will come off to your grieving friend. Definitely steer clear of statements that may come off as potentially insensitive. Also, don't say religious things, such as they're in heaven now or something, unless they truly believe in it. Then I feel you are in a better position to be able to parrot something like that, saying something similar to whatever brings them comfort. If not, I would say steer clear of any words or statements that are assuming or potentially insensitive. Just think of yourself as the grieving person and what you want someone to tell you or do for you. The next thing is that we may think that a comforting thing to say is something like, I understand how you feel. Because honestly, you don't. Everybody processes grief differently. It is actually a very good way to empathize with people. Many people are able to seek comfort in this. But why am I saying to steer clear? It's because everyone processes grief differently. If someone were to say, I understand how you feel because a similar figure of mine has passed away last year, it is a very good attempt. It's just that it may not be very appropriate here because your relationship and the grieving person's relationship with his loved one may be different. So, but you can also use the opposite way of saying this, which I feel will be so much better, which is, I don't know how you are feeling, but I also lost a similar figure last year or maybe how many years back, and I feel like I can empathize some way. These are so difficult to say, and I even have difficulty even texting it to my friend whose loved one has passed on. The next thing is to help them with their basic needs. This really depends on how close you guys are. I would think that if you guys are just acquaintances, just skip this part, it is okay. It is actually quite easy for us to private message the person and say something like, oh, if you need anything, I'm here. And of course they understand the meaning of it and they understand the nice gesture. But the truth is that no one really reaches out to you even if they need help, you know. It just, normally everyone is too polite, okay? So even if I'm in a situation where I'm grieving and someone tells me, I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to, I will say thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. But I will never reach out to the person, like no matter how close the person is to me, because I don't know, I just don't think I ever want to seem like a needy person, and it's just not culturally normal to do so. I wouldn't say it is inappropriate, but I would say it isn't like common, okay? Culturally common. So what I think we can all do is that we can try to cover some basic needs, which is to bring over to the grieving family's place some freezer friendly food that can freeze well, and then, you know, it's easy to bring up like a pasta or something that is easy for them to, you know, just whip up and then just eat. Because when we are grieving, most of the time we just don't have the energy in us to do anything, you know, do our basic daily life things. A lot of times, people who are grieving forget their basic needs, or they will not have the energy to do so. So if you are close enough, you can bring over food, even daily, if you are up for that. Another thing that we can do if we are close enough is to help them with household chores. I feel this may be overstepping boundaries a little bit, but that's why I say it really depends on how close you are to the said person. I feel in your capacity as a friend, this is the maximum you can do, okay? To help them with their basic needs when they are usually unable to do so, to ask you for it. Why not you be the one to just go there and do it? So the final thing that I want to say is that you just have to be there for your friend. You just have to check in if this friend is very important to you, and give the person some leeway. Let's say he or she needs to cancel like a trip with you guys or needs more time alone, just give it to him or her. Let your friend know that even though you don't understand how he or she feels, you are there for them and you are ready like anytime to lend them a listening ear. If they need someone to talk about, to reminisce even their loved one, just be there. Even if you don't know your friend's loved one, you know. So we can, honestly, as friends, as humans, all we can do is to let the person know that we are fully there for them as much as possible. And that you can tell them, you know, my phone is open for you 24/7. For this whole week, I am available at night. If you call me, I'm gonna pick up. You know, and you know, maybe go through with what you said. You know, don't later like the person calls you like for reals, and then you are just like, you put it to silent mode or something. Then don't even say it. Don't even offer it. You know, it is up to you how you want to convey this message. Because I also don't know your relationship with this person, but being willing to be as open as possible to whatever the person needs in that period of time of grieving is just so important. So these are what I learned that are more or less applicable to me when helping my friend navigate or process their grief. I am still a beginner. I have absolutely no idea what to do. I am the awkward person at the funeral asking where's the food and have you eaten? I think have you eaten is like a very common Asian way of checking in with the person, you know, so it is very basic, very standard, but it works, you know, whatever is culturally appropriate and common, I guess definitely you can use it. I'm not sure where you're from or what your culture does, but I feel the final tip that I've said, being there for them, just letting them know you are there for them, that is just the most important. You can just take these suggestions with a pinch of salt, just some things to think about. I always feel very awkward and like I don't know what to do, so I feel like sometimes I just need to equip myself with some knowledge, you know, in order to like get over uncomfortable feelings. If you have even better suggestions, please let me know. I am also just learning, okay? Like, it's just something that really troubled me and I wish someone can teach this to me. Examples would be great, okay? Or if you have done something that like offended somebody, please let me know also like what you have done, and then we can all learn from it. That's all for this video, and if you like this video, give it a like, and if you are interested in content like this, subscribe. On my channel, we talk about wholehearted living and things that are slightly more sensitive and difficult to talk about. So I will see you in the next video. Bye! When I went to my friend's funeral,